Tom Hardy, a 46-year-old English actor known from movies like Inception, Dark Knight Rises or Mad Max, is known for his charisma as well as his iconic James Bond type of voice.
I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny!
And although his hair was undoubtedly a huge contributing factor for his acting career success, in the movie Bronson, where he played a bulked-up prisoner, he actually decided to shave his head off, but was still able to grow it out later on. This, however, changed in the late 2023 and 2024, especially telling by looking at some scenes from his recent movie Bike Riders, where we can see his hairline recession more obviously than any other times before. And in today's video, we will be looking at what has likely happened to his hair and why. And although not with 100% accuracy, in this video I will not only offer you several most logical conclusions and explain why his hair might have suddenly taken such a downturn, but also share with you what to do best in such a situation to preserve and recover your hair the best way. So make sure to stay tuned, like this video, and if you are a fan of Tom or our channel, make sure to subscribe right now for more content like this in the future. Now let's look at the hairline features of Tom Hardy's original hairline before his hair loss actually kicked in. This brings us back to his 20s, as you can see in the photo of him playing a soldier in 2001. We can already see a naturally uneven hairline shape that he had, with a small gap on the left from his mid-frontal point. He used to have a cowlick in the same area. Cowlick is a group of hair on the head that is growing in the opposite direction from the rest of your hair. With Tom Hardy's ongoing hair loss in the following years, this cowlick became less and less dense, which makes his irregular hairline appearance more and more obvious. Now, the diffuse thinning on the frontal third and the mid-scalp follows next. His hairstyling choices were also not always ideal, as the use of gels or high shine pomades was making his diffuse thinning hair look way worse, making it also easy to see through the hair. I would not recommend these types of products to anybody with fine hair or thinning hair. Hair thinning on his corners starts looking also more obvious at around 2023 and 2024, especially during the interviews regarding his recent movie The Bike Riders. And now let me share with you my #1 reason why his rapid hair thinning occurred. He stopped taking finasteride. Easy as that. Finasteride tablets or topical lotions are used for hair loss in men. Finasteride is especially able to treat hair loss subtype called androgenetic alopecia or DHT related hair loss. It is known for slowing down your rate of hair loss. It can even thicken your hair. You may even regain some of your recently lost hair if you are hyper-responding, and maintain higher hair counts over time. Finasteride is also used in men with an enlarged prostate to improve urinary symptoms by reducing the prostate size and may delay the need for surgery. Also, females can use it when experiencing post-menopause hair loss or female pattern baldness. Now, Tom Hardy has been undoubtedly suffering from diffuse thinning that was more and more obvious in his late 30s and 40s. I find it really fascinating that he was able to maintain his hair for such a long time without even needing a hair transplant surgery. Later I will show you why he did not have a hair transplant done, in my opinion. It would not surprise me at all if he had started taking finasteride already in his 30s. That was also the time when the first signs of diffuse thinning were noticeable in his case. And by starting to take finasteride as early as in his 30s, he was able to prevent further hair loss during his whole 30s and 40s even. And that's what also happened, in my opinion. What I think is that the hairstyles he had in the following movies from 2010 and on were already a result of him being on finasteride already. For example, this long slick back hairstyle like in the movies Loki or Legend, classic comb over like in the movie Inception, or the taper fade haircut with a medium length on top like in the movie Mad Max, or simply a 1 or 2 guard buzz cut all over the head, especially when he was seen off the big screens. And I think that in his personal life he might be actually liking the simple buzz cut the most. This type of buzz cut is not only what better uncovered his diffuse thinning, but also exposed his recently receding hairline, which was not really happening until 2023. So what happened? Well, back to finasteride. This drug can and does only work for as long as you keep taking it. If you stop, the hair falls out, plenty of hair becomes very fine or fragile, and the hair loss pattern becomes obvious within 3 to 6 months after you have stopped taking it. And here is the big kicker. Your hair loss will be either less or more extreme depending on how long you have been taking finasteride. And then if you decide to stop it after a continuous intake for like 10 plus years, you will lose everything that you were predisposed to lose within the 10 plus years period had you not used finasteride. And that loss will happen within like 3 to 6 months after you stopped finasteride. So the hair loss that you can really experience in such a case within a short time frame is gonna be really scary, and you better get ready for it if you plan on stopping finasteride for whatever reasons. Now, I think that was the most likely scenario that happened to Tom, and the other alteration could have been that finasteride slowly stopped working for him over time, as I've seen happening with some people, but in such a case, he wouldn't have lost as much hair just in 2024 alone, because if we look at 2022 or 2023, he was pretty okay compared to now. Another possible complication would be the TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. As men age, we produce less and less testosterone on a daily basis. Some just accept it, while other men decide to reverse this process by taking exogenous testosterone. Increasing your testosterone like that, possibly stopping finasteride at the same time, could really exacerbate the hair loss enormously because of elevated testosterone levels and potentially enhance testosterone into DHT conversion via the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. I'm not saying Tom has done TRT, but one can never be sure, especially by looking at some of his body transformation during the Bronson movie or even The Dark Knight Rises. And I get it, some people can just say, hey, that was just a normal, natural hair loss progression over time. The problem I have with it is that this sudden jump in hair loss in the last year is not consistent with the rate of hair loss Tom has been having in his 30s and 40s. And this is like a really significant 15-year track record of hair loss. We can also exclude telogen effluvium as a major cause of his hair loss, because this type of hair loss, although resembling telogen effluvium in terms of how rapid it was, on the other hand, it perfectly resembles the male pattern baldness classification in terms of how the loss is happening. How about the hair transplant? On some images, his front actually looks a little bit red, as if something has been done there. In my opinion, this could be just a sunburn as well, and if it were the hair transplant, it must have been a recent one, like 1 to 3 months ago. If it would have been already 4 months ago or past that, we would be seeing now new hair regrowth, which is not the case. He's also wearing a very short buzz cut now, which would normally easily uncover all the evidence we need, like FUE or FUT scars, as we were seeing with Machine Gun Kelly or LeBron James, where we could easily see the strip scar or the FUE scars. And since Tom's back and sides look pretty homogeneous without any reduction in density after a possible FUE, I would exclude FUE hair transplant. FUT is also unlikely, since we would definitely see the fresh strip scar at this short hair length, as it was the case with Elon Musk across the back of the head. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will have a look at some of your insights as well. And for all of you guys who are interested in my one-on-one consulting services, check out the link in the video description below, where you can learn more about how I can help you one-on-one with choosing the best hair transplant clinic for your hair restoration based on your hair type, expectations, and budget, and also give you a second opinion, answer anything hair loss and hair transplant related, and really give you an opportunity to also speak to somebody who has done 3 hair transplants, 1 correction surgery in the past, made several mistakes that he doesn't want you to repeat, and with all that, saving you stress, money, and time trying to figure all of this out on your own. So I hope I will be able to help you out in person, and looking forward to see you in person. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.